A very lovely evening to you and thank you for joining us on Kwara State Television News for tonight. I'm Fatima Rashid. You can watch us live on Facebook, Kwara TV, or Start Times on 13, Free TV 502. With me tonight on the news, Funke.
Good evening, I'm Funke Olutimlane. Thanks for joining us on the news.
And from the languages desk.
Good evening, Fatima. Bariki gan bai na lokaci da bayani a baya gan bai labari daga talabishin yake kwana ce ko ya kwata ya ku bai lura ku sun ne ya kwashi kaka ken Suleiman
ya ekale àsìkò iṣẹ́
láti àtàárọ̀ ìròyìn ní ọ̀pọ̀ tó sùkàn láti lè ṣe móhùnmáwòrán tó kalẹ̀ sí àpáta Yakuba nílùú Ìlọrin. Sulaiman Amuda ni oníròyìn wa fún ti tàṣálẹ̀ ìní ẹ kú kalẹ̀ ẹ máa bá wa kálọ. Fati.
All right, we'll begin. The Defense Headquarters has renamed Armed Forces Remembrance Day as Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. This is contained in a statement today by the Director, Defense Information, Major General Sama'ila Uba. It said the change is to reflect the dual purpose of the occasion, which is to honor serving personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, while also remembering those who lost their lives in the defense of the country. Uba said the annual event is preceded by a week of activities that culminates in a parade and wreath-laying ceremony on January 15. She urged media organizations to adopt the new name in all future reports and coverage. Armed Forces Remembrance Day has traditionally been observed on 15 January to commemorate Nigerian soldiers who died in the service to the nation. Over the years, the focus of the annual event has largely been on fallen personnel, with ceremonies such as wreath-laying held across the country. The change reflects the military's efforts to balance remembrance with recognition of active duty personnel.
A renewed call has gone to the public to desist from indiscriminate bush burning and be conscious of their environment to prevent fire outbreak as Harmattan season sets in. The call was made by officials of both federal and Kwara State Fire Services during separate interviews with Kwara TV News in Ilorin, the state capital. Fatima Mohammed has more.
As Harmattan season sets in, Nigerians have been advised to be conscious while using electrical appliances in their various homes. The head of Operations Federal Fire Service in Kwara State, ASF KG Yusuf, gave the advice while speaking with Kwara TV News. He stressed that dry seasons are always accompanied by fire disaster. He added that the dryness of the atmosphere will easily ignite fire anytime there is spark, hence the need to be extra careful with handling of electrical appliances. He cautioned members of the various households against leaving electrical appliances plugged while leaving home.
So once there is a little spark during this period, there is a very high chance of fire outbreak. And that is why we always try to tell people you should be cognizant of your immediate environment. Once you notice any form of spark, try to ensure that you take any form of fuel that could be around there. What are fuel? Fuel are anything that can burn.
Corroborating his view, another officer in the agency, ASF Yusuf Abdulkadri, emphasized the need for the general public to monitor and put fire off if there is need to burn refuse in their various homes and environments.
To burn something in your environment, maybe something of little, you have to stay with it. You don't have to stay. Some people, and one of the major causes is people burning refuse maybe in the neighborhood. They won't stay with it, and you'll just, maybe some people will go to negligence.
On his part, the public relations officer, Kwara State Fire Service, Hakim Hassan Adekunle, said the agency has been going to marketplaces for sensitization and enlightenment on measures needed to prevent fire outbreak, particularly during the dry season. He urged the public not to hesitate calling on firefighters as soon as possible in case of fire disaster.
They doesn't have a time, but I will advise general public that whenever they are leaving their respective house, they should switch off all the electrical appliances which they are using, even to the extent they should remove it from the source.
Recently, There have been cases of fire disasters within and outside Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, but those incidences were contained by the firefighters in the states. Fatima Mohammed, Kwara TV News.
The Olubado of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja, has declared that he has set up a committee to resolve the chieftaincy controversy in Ido town. The decision is coming after 3 individuals laid claim to the Onido of Ido store. The 3 persons are Ademola Orobi, Tajuddin Akiola, and Moitala Babalola. This development has been a source of concern for the residents of the town in the last few years. Ladoja, in his reaction, noted that he has set up a panel to investigate the matter. The traditional ruler made these declarations via a statement signed by his media aide, Adiola Oloko. Ladoja advised all the stakeholders concerned to cooperate with the committee. He said the committee was set up to resolve the matter amicably.
The Nigerian Bar Association has warned that the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, must not be allowed to become a fertile ground for so-called one-chance murder following the killing of 2 professionals in Abuja. NBA President Afam Osigwe condemned the death of Ms. Chum Ezim, a nurse, and Chibo Midatex, a lawyer and former treasurer of the NBA Abuja branch, who were allegedly murdered by criminal gangs operating under the guise of commercial transport operators. He noted that the resurgence of one-chance criminal operations has turned daily commuting in Abuja into a dangerous exercise, stressing that the killings were not isolated incidents, but evidence of a growing security breakdown. The NBA president described the murder of Mediatrix as a painful loss to the legal profession, noting that she served the Abuja branch of the association with dedication. He added that the incident underscored the vulnerability of citizens in an environment where criminals operate with impunity. Osigwe called on the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, the Nigeria Police Force, and other security agencies to treat the situation as a security emergency.
And the Nigerian Labour Congress has criticized the Nigerian government's new tax laws, describing them as unfair and harmful to workers and low-income Nigerians. NLC President Joe Ajaero made this known in Abuja while speaking at the launch of a memo in honor of the former NLC President Hassan Somono to mark his 85th birthday. Ajaero said the new tax laws were introduced without proper consultation with workers in both the private and public sectors, even though they make up the largest group of taxpayers in the country. He described the laws as regressive and said they place additional burden on people who are already struggling to survive. He added that taxing people who are already living in extreme poverty cannot be justified. The NLC president called on the federal government to immediately suspend implementation of the tax laws and allow for a proper review. He stressed that credible tax policies should strengthen institutions and ease the burden on citizens, not deepen hardship. He warned that organized labor may be forced to confront the government if its concerns are ignored.
In recognition of his outstanding contribution and avowed commitment to the community development in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, Al-Ifma University has conferred honorary doctorate degree on Alhaji Tajuddin Ibrahim Adeta. Alhaji Tajuddin Adeta, an illustrious son of Ilorin Emirates and notable philanthropist by excellence, was awarded honorable doctorate degree in business administration by the varsity during the second leg of its 15th convocation ceremony. Babatunde Jimba reports that the colorful ceremony held at the Atere campus of the institution had in attendance the Deputy Governor of Kwara State, Kayode Alabi, some traditional rulers, captain of industry, political class, family members, friends and associates of Alhaji Tajuddin Adeta, the recipient of the honorary doctorate degree, and other graduates. Here is report.
The moot court of Al-Hikmah University Ilorin was filled to the brim as members of the academia, traditional chiefs, and people from all walks of life gathered to witness the conferment of honorary doctorate degree on Alhaji Tajuddin Ibrahim Adeta, a frontline business tycoon and philanthropist par excellence, who has notably impacted on many lives and communities. The Vice-Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, Professor Lateef Oladimeji, was joined by the founder, Dr. Abdurrahim Oladimeji, and Pro-Chancellor, Alhaji Sakinat Yusuf, during the formal decoration of Alhaji Tajuddin Adeja.
I hereby confer on you, Alhaji Tajuddin Ajibola Ibrahim Adeta, the honorary degree of business administration.
The Vice-Chancellor, who congratulated Alhaji Adeta and other recipients of awards and degrees, said the institution is strongly committed to advance the growth of Islamic etiquette and improve the quality of education. He said the university is well positioned to mold future generations of thinkers and solution providers.
I want to congratulate all the graduates of today and pray that Almighty Allah will direct your affairs.
The new recipient of the honorary doctorate degree, Alhaji Tajuddin Ibrahim Adeta, appreciated the founder of the university and acknowledged the import of the recognition given to him by the institution.
I am truly honored to be associated with Al-Hikmah University. I consider this recognition not just a personal honor, but also come to a greater commitment to the service of humanity, education, and national development.
For Alhaji Nasir Ali Surunli and others who are holders of Al-Hikmah University postgraduate degrees, they also thank the university for finding them worthy of the honors.
I'm very excited because I've never expected my daughters to perform up to this level, and I was honored the honorary doctorate degree because of my daughters.
Really happy being here, and all I have to say is Alhamdulillah. Because
today I can tell you I'm extremely happy.
Some relations and friends of the celebrant described the new doctorate degree awardee, Alhaji Tajuddin Adeta, as a unique personality and friend of the masses.
Short of what, Alhamdulillah.
He shares whatever he has.
In the Ilorin IDPU, he's performing wonders. He's apolitical.
My only message to him is to continue to build more.
At the time of filing this report, his associates and friends were gathered at his Adeta family residence to rejoice with him. Babatunde Jimba, Kwara TV News.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral E.D. Abbas, today says the Nigerian Navy remains committed to combating maritime crimes and ensuring safety on the waterways. He disclosed this today during an inspection of facilities at the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital and other projects in Calabar. The Naval Chief said he was satisfied with the facilities and operational gains the Navy had made in recent weeks. He noted that the Navy's mandate is maritime security.
Time to go on a short break. Join us at the time for more news.
The Board of Trustees, the executives and members of the Ilorin Like Minds Foundation felicitate with one of our highly distinguished and respected members, Alhaji Ibrahim Tajuddin Hajibola Eleku Adeta, on his conferment of honorary doctorate degree in business administration by Al-Hikmah University. The foundation heartily rejoices and profoundly congratulates Alhaji Eleku on these monumental achievements and for making us exceedingly proud of your outstanding contributions to community services, Kwara State and national development. developments that earned you this well-deserved recognition. Indeed, your proven integrity, pursuit of professional excellence, inspirational leadership, patriotic services, and sacrifices that define your exemplary life journey into becoming a globally competitive brand personality are inspiring the young generations. The foundation prayed for continued God's guidance, protection, and prosperity in your strides towards continuing services to humanity, Ilorin Emirate, Kwara State, and the country at large. Once again, congratulations, Alhaji Lukman Abdullahi Atada, President, Ilorin Like Mind Foundation, Barrister Shehu Moyosore, Secretary General, Ilorin Like Mind Foundation, Mohammed Abdulkader, Publicity Director, Ilorin Like Mind Foundation, announcer.
Welcome back. Back to the story of maritime security. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral E.D. Abbas, says the Nigerian Navy remains committed to combating maritime crimes and ensuring safety on the waterways. He disclosed this today during an inspection of facilities at the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital and other projects in Calabar. The naval chief said he was satisfied with the facilities and operational gains the Navy had made in recent weeks. He noted that the Navy's mandate is maritime security, adding that he is assessing its operational capabilities to identify critical challenges and prioritize security areas. Mr. Abbas noted that the tour is part of an effort to identify what requires prioritization to achieve the Navy's mandates.
The Rivers State House of Assembly has begun impeachment proceedings against Governor Simlai Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odu. During plenary presided over by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martins Amairuweli, on Thursday, and the Majority Leader, Major Jack, read out the notice of allegations and gross misconduct against Fubara. 26 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly signed the notice, which they alleged was against the Nigerian Constitution. Jack laid his notice before the Speaker, who said the notice would be served to the governor in 7 days. The deputy leader, Linda Stewart, also brought forward a notice of gross misconduct against Odo. The report stated some of the gross misconduct allegations against Odo included reckless and unconstitutional spending of public funds, obstruction of the House of Assembly from performing our constitutional duties as outlined by the 1999 Constitution, convening to align unauthorized persons to occupy offices without proper screening by the legitimate House of Assembly. Other allegations were that she approached another group of people for budgetary approval instead of the legitimate Rivers State House of Assembly, seizure of salaries and allowances acquiring to the Rivers State House of Assembly and the Assembly Service Commission.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State's chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Simi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, describing the move as destabilizing and unnecessary. In a statement signed today by the party's spokesperson, Darlington Nwauju, the APC said it acknowledged the constitutional independence of the legislature, but would not support what it termed a resort to impeachment against an APC-led government. The party cautioned the lawmakers, particularly its members in the assembly, against the yielding to external pressure capable of plunging the state into political turmoil. Addressing claims that the impeachment threat is linked to budgetary issues, the APC recalled that during the period of emergency rule, a 1.485 trillion naira budget was transmitted to the National Assembly in May 2025 and approved by the Senate on 25 June and the House of Representatives on 22 July 2025. The party explained that the budget is expected to run until August 2026. The APC noted that the governor may lawfully decide not to present a supplementary budget and reminded the Assembly that the Constitution allows a 6-month spending window into a new fiscal year. Though the governor has yet to comment on the latest move, the Rivers APC has asked the Assembly to discontinue the impeachment process. The ruling party is warning that it could damage APC's image and stall the state's development.
The African Democratic Congress ADC inaugurated its Constitutional Review Committee as part of efforts to deepen internal democracy on Thursday in Abuja. The national chairman, Senator David Mark, while inaugurating the committee, described the moment as a milestone towards institutional growth, democratic consolidation, cohesion, and governance. The ADC national chairman urged the committee members to work with open minds, uphold party ideals and priorities collective interest throughout the assignment. The chairman urged them to ensure compliance with Nigerian laws and consult stakeholders across zones, co-opt experts, and submit interim reports within 30 days. In his acceptance speech, the chairman of the committee, Etigwe Uwa, assured of his members' total commitment and pledged deployment of mental and physical resources to deliver a forward-looking constitution that would support grassroots mobilization and prevent party crisis.
And in Jigawa State, the state government has suspended contractors involved in the state school feeding program. This follows allegations of fraud and poor service delivery. A state commissioner for humanitarian affairs and special duties, Awal Sankara, disclosed this during inspection to some schools in Dutse local government. He stated that the monitoring team discovered irregularities, including inflated student population figures, supply of substandard food items, and incomplete food deliveries to boarding schools. The commissioner noted that the food is not safe for students' consumption, leading to the immediate suspension of the contractor, Jibril Meifata. At the government commercial secondary school duty, a consignment of rice supplied to the school was rejected for failing to meet required standards. The commissioner subsequently dismissed the chairman of the school feeding contractors, Alhaji Sulezai, over the incident. Similarly, 3 contractors, Kamalu Suleiman, Alhaji Abdullahi Abanderi, and Alhaji Umaru Chamo, were suspended at the School for Arabic and Islamic Studies Dutse for delivering incomplete food supplies to students. Sankara said the actions were in line with Governor Umar Namadi's 12-point agenda and the administration's commitment to transparency and accountability in public programs. He warned that any individual found diverting resources meant for students' feeding and welfare will be prosecuted.
A call has gone to Muslim parents to leave a good legacy for their children while alive. The Grand Mukadam of Ilorin, Sheikh Sulaiman Abubakar Dambrano, gave this admonition at the fidal for late Alhaji Musa Akande Abdulkarim Geshinde. Fatima Mohammed, who was there for Kwara TV News, report that the event was attended by family, friends, and associates of the deceased. A report.
In a sermon at the Fidal for late Alhaji Musa Abdulkarim Geshinde, the Grand Mukadam of Ilorin, Sheikh Suleiman Abubakar Dambrano, charged Muslims to desist from chasing worldly materials, rather train their children in the moral way of living. He advised the children of the deceased to always remember their late father with prayer and charity. Leading the Fidal for the deceased, Imam of Ajia Mosque, Ustaz Muhammad Solu, who described the late Alhaji Musa Geshinde as a man of the people who served his community wholeheartedly. He prayed Allah to repose his soul and grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus.
Allahumma ighfir li Musa warhamhu wa'fu anhu wa tajawwaz an sayyi'atihi.
Some children and relatives of the deceased who spoke with Kwara TV News described their late father as a caring, loving and peaceful father whose death will leave a vacuum difficult to fill in their lives.
He should only be telling us that whatever that we have been doing, you should remember tomorrow.
Ọmọ school tán sanwó gbogbo ẹ̀, àwa gan ò mọ̀. Èmi táwa náà kéré, táwa náà ò mọ̀ kankan. Ìpè nǹkan tí bàbá wa ṣe.
Alhaji Musa is such a very kind and compassionate father. In fact, to me, he stood more than a father-in-law to me. He even did more than a father to me. I appreciate having married to his son because it made me to believe that a married life is the happiest one.
Mount, very, very peaceful. Coordinate us, brings us along. All the children, everybody were intact.
Even ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó fi sínú oyè ìwọ ló tọ́ sí ìwọ ló kàn ìwọ ló tọ́ sí wàláhì Ọlọ́run bá tó.
Late Alhaji Musa Abdulkarim Gesinde died on Tuesday at the age of 86. He is survived by a wife, children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Fatima Muhammad, Kwara TV News.
Of granted disease, Aljana Firdaus. On that note, we go for a very short break. When we come back, it will be time for business, sports, and news from around the world. Please stay with us. Welcome back. From the business desk, President Bola Tinubu has said Nigeria has become a market destination that can no longer be ignored, as the Nigerian Exchange Limited recorded a 100 trillion naira market capitalization milestone. Tinubu made this known in a statement released today by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga. The president hailed corporate Nigeria, citizens and other stakeholders for achieving the milestone. He urged Nigerians and foreign investors to deepen their investment in the local economy, assuring them that 2026 will yield even greater returns as his administration's economic reforms continue to deliver stronger outcomes. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, has said Nigeria's stock market ranks third highest in Africa by the number of listed companies. The OECD Africa Market Report 2025 reveals that the Nigerian Exchange Limited has 156 listed companies, ranking behind Egypt's stock exchange with 245 listings and South Africa's Johannesburg Stock Exchange with 204 and market capitalization of about $33 billion.
And on sports, the federal government has announced that all group stage bonuses due to players of the Super Eagles at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations have been released and are expected to reflect in the players' domiciliary accounts within hours. The disclosure was made by the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Zuka Anite, in response to reports suggesting that the national team was considering boycotting training sessions and could refuse to travel to Marrakesh for their quarter-final encounter against Algeria. In a post on our official X handle, Zuka Anite promised an update on the administrative step taken to resolve concerns surrounding the payment of match bonuses to Super Eagles, stating that the issue has been addressed throughout coordination action by the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Super Eagles players have been banned from talking to journalists during the opening training on Thursday. This was confirmed by the team's media officer, Promise Efoge, in its statement. He said this is due to the events of the past few days, including the bonus rules that led to the team's late arrival in Magdesh, where they will play Algeria in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations quarterfinal.
From the foreign scene, just over a month after the attempted coup that shook Cotonou, Beninese voters will be heading to the polls on Sunday to vote in parliamentary and local elections. Our parties in the running are bringing 2 weeks of campaigning to an end on Friday. For parliamentary elections, 5 parties are competing for seats in the country's National Assembly. Among them are 3 parties that are part of the presidential movement: the Progressive Union for Renewal UPR, the Republican Bloc BR, and Mwele Benin. They will be up against the Democrats, who are the main opposition, and the FCBE, who are viewed as a moderate opposition party. All the 3 parties are vying for ballots in local elections: UPR, BR, and FCB. The votes come ahead of a 3rd vote due to take place this year, the presidential election, which is set for the 12th of April. That report from Benin Republic concludes news from us. Is over to Ahmed Kwasana Tankwafu, who will be taking it in Nupe language. Kwasana. Thank you.
Eji Ibadan wa igan Ọba Rashidi Adewolu Ladojo Gbanide Alatula Nikede won ade won committee ndo chide la shisha na de awa igan agiye sakani fitina de dagwa na kiyen etu din eji na de igan ido eji na de igan ido na ni me kin Ibadan na la committee ganga ke committee na yan la shishi na bayan zagutando chinajide agikin a ce din ezo shichi gan ranagan wajo yeji na de gan oni do dan ni me eji ido na alaguta tana na sunaji mai ademola orobi tajudin akinola akiwa gan be muritala babalele na machilo ekede na de mula committee na shishi na ebona egan chi gba ni ka beji ani ga jan wo na tan soro ina ewo ki a chi na committee un chi na shi na aga chi lelo ina de ala edun fe lafia chi ga gitu de ba won chon na ladu ja ma chi ke mo takide gba ni ka fina de ajibe ja na won ke wa bi committee ne kide dudu ji wa na de ka to pata na alama waya ya emawe du felafia lada ya pata la ide ga jeto na shawara kide ajikini na finkwa ke wa gan be committee na de aga de so ge ni ina wa be gan bi ayin na dagwano gwalage na chiya gobo da ne gan Nigerian Bar Association na gwani a gani kide na wani kide ati ejien kinta tin kin Nigeria ni federal capital na a chale alo agaluga wa je ejina gba ni wa na ana ga bi pata be kelo ke na rangi pata na ifi de du fe lafia na bayan yana ajun te tu lagba ni gan ezawo kaminundo ni na esun ni mi eji Abuja na mo ni chishi na nga gan afam osigwo na de latula kede je na fam bana bayan tutuyen zagutando chinede tulaba nede ade wunonga gan zanina sunu Mrs Chinemere Pascalina na ake ba na etungu etun no si na ake ba gni be chigbo na ke iza goboda bi na iza ne ke lotun gni be gwatan goboda yi na ni kwangwan Abuja na ikede alagbaba na wa bebe takane usumane de dagwa na kin takane abu gani be yan kwarin da party na machi lo gani be egun kede wa gani be minister de la na etun ikin tatin kin Nigeria bonga ga federal capital na ji kokari ake ba gani be gola gen do kaji to zai tsani kinaji kede edufe lafiya ngugo ina dai a ce ko ya cha wato ya yi abuja abuja ji eji na randu ga anja so bi chubi no mo e ba ta biya sapa di no mo e ba chimo people de la zando china jide de e zaja ti de gwa fi ya ego le makanta en legen de gan ali ikima de dan ki lo ya bu ne do tan ki Kwara no no al hikima makata mu shan ina la chimo yen riatwa dia na gan honorary doctor no degree na aya eza chimochi ni Alhaji Tajudeen Ibrahim Adeta egi labari baba tunde jimba na de dan na uncho no takide dan na de ku kanka eza kanka ni de ye kana ake ba gani be shaba gumna yake Kwara nan ngai gan kai de alabu to tichi yaro ni ake ba gani be zandoci to amaci ya jikwata da nan wucin ni ne luba ye ga mi sun kalami ngai ga tishi ngai gan yin makata wucin ta kide alhikima professor Latif Oladimeji na de to so ya nai zanan mu makata wucin so ya gwagu tuna ngai gan lekita Ibrahim Ade Oladimeji to zanci koci ngai gan zanibe Alhaja Sekinat Yusuf ai zane dai anaki a cila cinwe ya twane dai adan degree na dai adan Alhaji Tajudeen Adeta na ni tishi vice chancellor na machila misan barika dai tula sauran gallo bayan Alhaji Adeta na to zando cine yake Allah ake la ya twane cinwe degree na dai a ta ta abuna daga ba gwata man kanta ne lege yan aleki mamushu na ci ni lo abun to zando ci kede kiniga ya igboro makanta na to kuku yikine te igboro en adino ake ba gani be kinigi wange makato makata uyina de a paiti abuna ba ci takibe makata musha yin makata na gikini ya chichilelo eti edu felafia to ebolo ya egi na je to gan abaje nusa suna na ci agawa a so na je de ajiya to na nan ga Alhaji Tajudeen Ibrahim Adeto mula egwadugawa mude to misa dilo bayan tishi ko so man kata mu shi ganin be kokari an na tifi pana de apa hu kede ne zamu yo no kede man kata fu ba so ko su matun mu yana dabo ce lo ya igbolo yin wa fi ka makanta to kin be ni no awa be musulmi ya ni musulmi manci ya ni kede a gikini etiyan kikeciyan etan de wa a kecici ya ejaji na abike lokaci na gadan rayo nan za tishi man ci ko ni de jini na jini lori abun na je rufe nan ga Sheikh Suleiman Abubakar dan Borno amma ga yi zanan lawa zunye ga ne tula kan bayan fida wade ya kuci Alhaji Musa akande Abdulkarim Gesindio Fatima Muhammad na de dan da mun cewa bayan nan jibe gun ya mi television ba mun ke de edufe fida mun sha na de da amaci shi ya gishi kabila ji fata a gayi zai da fidnu de da nan ci gono amma ci me gani be wula ba de ke de ne mi wajiyan ya fida wajiyan man chonga gan ya edufe Alhaji Musa Abdulkarim Gesindio nan tishi manna yan iloni na a Sheikh Suleiman Abubakar dan Borno ngwadun be musulmi ji kide a kya gangan be ijena gbazatuna nade aga be gikine ti jo alwa luga ade ya kina de goyiya nan tsaya e gaja nan to atuma egijima a kya gikine etiya na laban e ko foro kanu ndondo a kya gikine te people ya kuci manci ne daga azuma jita ijan aboki agikine ti adwa ba kan nondo nimi zanake shijo shitian fidau nana ya kuchina ngai gan ndali man efun aji imuslatin ajiyo Ustaz Muhammad Soliu na laye jide dan kuchi Alhaji Musa Gesindio nana kede ezuwo na de goza kamai de bani na gan biyan ban nike tina make za nike tina gikine tin yego loro ya ekona ebuki ati no ba go mchi baba sawon ya kuchi na kide soku gunwe mulazuma no lugwa lufe alheri ma maguga ganbe yana de ga goyin sashi ye gishi na shi de baba ganbe egimi laboratory to egi na abaza a ajuye kede yamanci wo na de detichi mo kuran ye kan etin edufe lafi ona ebu ki achi no aden do no gwana ni ba de wonga igan aduasa ayina ga tuzumo no kuchi na ngai na Alhaji Musa Abdulkarim jesinde na lu ise gwa fo talata fo musumo de wa gun ya gin ya shini gani be gutsan na ma lu egiji ya gizi ni miji to gwa to iso igan soku gun ye mo junga fara kas mo fe alheri mo gogo da mi do na ma labe na ki adaban Suleiman na gba gin be mi agin Suleiman
Ahmed Fasana kò iṣẹ́ láti àtàrò ìròyìn fún ti àṣálẹ́ ìní ẹ máa bá wa kálọ ìpè ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ará ìlú láti má sì máa sun pápá láì nídìí kí wọ́n sì máa ṣọ́ àyíká wọn lóòrèkóòrè látàrí kádènà iná jíjó níbi lásìkò àkókò ẹ̀rùn bí ó ṣe wọlé dé báyìí. àtúntúkọ̀ ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ wa yìí Fatima Muhammad mọ́ àbọ̀ wá wípé àkókò ẹ̀rùn ti dé báyìí ló mú kí àrọwà lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti wà ní tójútìyẹ́ lásìkò tí wọ́n bá ń lo ohun èlò tí ó ń lo iná ọba láwọn ilé wọn. ọ̀gá kan nílé iṣẹ́ tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ panápaná lábẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Kwara ASF Kéjì Yusuf ló pàrọwà yìí lásìkò tí ó ń bá ikọ̀ ìròyìn ilé iṣẹ́ wa sọ̀rọ̀. ó yànnàná rẹ̀ wípé gbogbo àkókò ẹ̀rùn ni iná jíjó máa ń sábà ṣẹlẹ̀ nítorí wípé ilẹ̀ ti gbẹ ló mú kí iná tètè máa búrẹ́kẹ̀ nígbàkúùgbà tí iná bá ta. èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo wa fi gbọdọ̀ fi máa ṣọ́ra pàápàá ní lílo àwọn ohun èlò iná ẹ̀lẹ́tíríkì tí a bá ń tì bọ́ná láwọn ilé kó wa nígbà tí ó ń kí ọ̀rọ̀ náà lẹ́yìn òṣìṣẹ́ kan nílé iṣẹ́ ọ̀hún ASF Yusuf Abdulkadir tẹ̀pẹ́lẹ́mọ́ ìdí tí ó fi yẹ kí àwọn ará ìlú máa bójútó iná kí wọ́n lè tètè pa tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá fẹ́ bọ́ sórí lásìkò tí wọ́n bá ń sun ilẹ̀ láyìíká wọn. nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tirẹ̀ alukoro àjọ panápaná nípínlẹ̀ Kwara Hakeem Hasan Adékúnlé jẹ́ kó dínà wípé àjọ ọ̀hún ti ń lọ kiri àwọn ọjà láti lè la àwọn ènìyàn lọ́yẹ̀ lórí àwọn ìlànà tó yẹ láti lè dènà iná jíjó tí ó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ pàápàá lásìkò ẹ̀rùn tí a wà yìí. Olúbàdàn tilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn Ọba Rashidi Adéwọ̀lú Ládọjà ti kéde wípé òun ti ṣe àgbéǹde ìgbìmọ̀ kan láti pa iná ìyapa inú ọ̀rọ̀ oyè tó wáyé nílùú Ìdó. ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún ló ń wáyé lẹ́yìn tẹ́nìyàn mẹ́ta ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ń forí gbárí fún oyè onídò tìlú Ìdó. àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀tọ̀ ọ̀hún ni Benjamin Adémọ́lá Ìṣọ̀lá Ọ̀rọ̀bíyì Tajudeen Akínọlá àti Muritala Babalọ́lá. ìgbésẹ̀ yìí ló ti di ohun ìkọminú fáwọn olùgbé ìlú náà ní nǹkan bíi ọdún mélòó kan sẹ́yìn. Ládọjà nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ tọ́ka wípé òun ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ láti ṣèwádìí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà. ọba àlàyé ọ̀hún ṣe ìkéde yìí nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tó jẹ́ ìbuwọ́lù abẹ́sìnkáwọ́ ìròyìn rẹ̀ Adéọlá Ọlọ́kọ̀. Ládọjà wá gba gbogbo àwọn alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ tọ́rọ̀ kàn lámọ̀ràn láti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìgbìmọ̀ náà. ó sọ wípé wọ́n ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ náà láti parí ọ̀rọ̀ ní tùbínùbí. ẹgbẹ́ amòfin ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ti jáwé ìkìlọ̀ wípé kí olú ilẹ̀ wa Àbújá kò gbọ́dọ̀ di ààyè fáwọn alọ́kọ́lóhun kígbe tí a mọ̀ sí one chance àti ìṣekúpani látẹ̀lé ìṣekúpa akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ méjì kan nílùú Àbújá. ààrẹ NBA Maxi Avam Ozigwe gbẹnu àtẹ́lu bí wọ́n ṣe ṣekú pa Ms. Chinamerem Pascalina Chukwuemeziem tí ó jẹ́ nọ́ọ̀sì àti ọmọọbabìnrin Chigbo Mediatrice tí òun jẹ́ amòfin. àwọn yìí ni wọ́n ní ikọ̀ ọ̀daràn tó ń díbọ́n bí awakọ̀ èrò ṣekú pa. ó tọ́ka wípé ìfojúlédè ikọ̀ ọ̀daràn yìí ti sọ ètò ìrìnnà olójoojúmọ́ nílùú Àbújá di páńpẹ́ ewu pẹ̀lú ìtẹnumọ́ wípé ìṣekúpani ti di ẹ̀rí máa jẹ́mi nìṣó fún àìrajaja ètò ààbò. ó wá pè fún ìwádìí tó lóòrìn lórí ìṣekúpani náà lẹ́yìn tó ní gbogbo àwọn tó lọ́wọ́ nínú ìwà láabi yìí gbọ́dọ̀ gba ìnáwó gan àti ìjìyà tó yẹ. lójúnà àti mọrírì ìrún párúnsẹ̀ tó ń ti ìfarajìn rẹ̀ sídìí ìdàgbàsókè àgbègbè nílùú Ìlọrin tí í ṣe olúlu fún ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga yunifásitì Alikima fi oyè ọ̀mọ̀wé tí a mọ̀ sí igi ìwé ìyẹn dọ́kítọ́rẹ̀tì dá Alhaji Tajudeen Ibrahim Adeta lọ́lá. Alhaji Tajudeen Adeta tí í ṣe ọmọ bíbí Ìlọrin Emirate ni wọ́n fi oyè dókítà lẹ́ka ìmọ̀ òwò nílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga yunifásitì náà lásìkò ayẹyẹ ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́jáde ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ẹ̀dógún rẹ̀ láti ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Babatunde Jimba jábọ̀ ìròyìn wípé ayẹyẹ ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́jáde náà ló wáyé nínú ọgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà níbi tí àwọn èèkàn ti bá wọn péjú pésẹ̀ síbi ayẹyẹ náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara Káyọ̀dé Alábí, àwọn orí adé ọrùn ìlẹ̀kẹ̀, àwọn olóṣèlú, ẹbí, ọ̀rẹ́ àti àwọn afẹ́nifẹ́re Alhaji Tajudeen Adeta ẹni tí wọ́n fi oyè dá lọ́lá àti òun pẹ̀lú àwọn mìíràn tí wọ́n ń kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ jáde. Gbọ̀ngàn ẹ̀ka tí wọ́n ti ń kọ́nìyàn nípa ìdájọ́ nílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga yunifásitì Alikima ni ó kún fọ́fọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ọ̀mọ̀wé, àwọn orí adé ọrùn lẹ̀kẹ̀ àtàwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùlú sí péjúpésẹ̀ síbi tí wọ́n ti fi oyè dókítà dá Alhaji Tajudeen Ibrahim Adeta lọ́lá ẹni tí ó jẹ́ gbajúgbajà oníṣòwò tí ó ti lapa nínú ìgbésí ayé ènìyàn láàrin àwùjọ. Jíwà àgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga yunifásitì Alikima ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Lateef Ọládìméjì tó darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú olùdásílẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà dókítà Abdulrahim Ọládìméjì àti Alhaja Sikinat Yusuf níbi ìfioyè dánilọ́lá náà. Jíwà àgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún kí Alhaji Adeta pẹ̀lú àwọn mìíràn tí wọ́n fi àmì ẹ̀yẹ dálọ́lá pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ àwọn onídìgírì mìíràn sọdúnmọ̀ wípé ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga náà kò sa ìfarajìn gidigidi lórí mímú àgbéga bá ẹ̀kọ́ Islam àti mímú ìdàgbàsókè bá ẹ̀kọ́ mọ̀ọ́kà tó yè kooro. Ó wá sọdúnmọ̀ wípé yunifásitì ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ láti ṣàtọ́nà àwọn tí yóò máa jẹ́ aṣíwájú rere lọ́jọ́ iwájú tí wọn yóò sì lè máa wá ojútùú sáwọn èyíkéyìí ìṣòro eléyìí tí ó bá súyọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀nà àtọ̀. Ẹni tí ó gba àmì ẹ̀yẹ dókítọ́rẹ̀tì ọ̀hún Alhaji Tajudeen Ibrahim Adeta dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ olùdásílẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà pàápàá bí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà ṣe mọ rírì ipa òun. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ Alhaji Nasiru Ali Surundi pẹ̀lú àwọn mìíràn pàápàá kò ṣàì kí yunifásitì náà lórí ìfioyè dánilọ́lá náà. Àwọn ẹbí àti ọ̀rẹ́ olùfoyè dánilọ́lá náà ṣàpèjúwe Alhaji Tajudeen Adeta gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú àti mẹ̀kúnnù. Títí di àsìkò tí a ṣàkójọ ìròyìn yìí níṣe ni àwọn afẹ́nifẹ́re lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan péjọ sí Adeta ní agboolé ẹni tí wọ́n fi oyè dálọ́lá náà láti bá a dunnú. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ ìyọninípò tako gómìnà Similaye Fubara àti igbákejì rẹ̀ Ngozi Odu lásìkò ìjókòó ilé èyí abẹnugan rẹ̀ Martin Ameowule darí rẹ̀. Adarí ọmọ ilé tó pọ̀ jùlọ Major Jack ló ka àkíyèsí àwọn ẹ̀sùn àṣìwò ìwà àti ìṣòwò mọ̀kùmọ̀kù tako Fubara. Àwọn ọmọ asòfin 26 nípínlẹ̀ Rivers ló buwọ́lu àkíyèsí náà èyí tí wọ́n fẹ̀sùn kàn wípé ó tako ìwé òfin ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Jack ló ṣàfiléde àkíyèsí náà síwájú abẹnugan ilé ẹni tí ó sọ wípé wọn yóò jọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ lé gómìnà lọ́wọ́ láàrin ọjọ́ 7 péré. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú olóṣùṣù ọwọ̀ All Progressive Congress APC ti kọ ìgbésẹ̀ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers láti yọ gómìnà Similaye Fubara àti igbákejì rẹ̀ ìyẹn Ngozi Odu kúrò nípò àṣẹ èyí tí wọ́n ṣàpèjúwe gẹ́gẹ́ bí àti dá nǹkan rú àti ohun tí kò ṣe pàtàkì. Àtẹ̀jáde kan tí ó jáde lọ́jọ́ Àlàmísì gba ti ọ̀dọ̀ agbẹnusọ ẹgbẹ́ náà Darlington Nwaoju fọwọ́ sí sọ wípé àwọn mọ̀ wípé ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ní òmìnira ara rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kò ní ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fúnru ìgbésẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ọ̀hún wá ṣe kìlọ̀kìlọ̀ fáwọn ọmọ asòfin ọ̀hún pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú rẹ̀ nílé ìgbìmọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń tọ́ka sí ìdúnkùkùlájà mọ́ ìgbésẹ̀ ìyọninípò ọ̀hún eléyìí tí wọ́n sopọ̀ mọ́ ohun tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìṣúná ẹgbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC wá mú wá sí ìrántí wípé lásìkò ìṣèjọba pàjáwìrì pé wọ́n fi àbá ìṣúná oní-tírílíọ̀nù kan àti $415 tírílíọ̀nù náírà sọwọ́ sí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojúṣòfin àgbà nínú oṣù karùn-ún ọdún 2025 tí ó sì jẹ́ ìbuwọ́lù lọ́jọ́ 25 tí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojúṣòfin kékeré náà sì ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ 22 oṣù keje ọdún 2025. ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC wá ṣàfimúlẹ̀ rẹ̀ wípé gómìnà lè pinnu lọ́kàn rẹ̀ láti má ṣe gbé àbá ìṣúná tí ó ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí òfin ṣe fàyè gbà láti gbé lọ fún wọn gàgà jùlọ fún oṣù 6 tí ó sì lè ṣe àmúlò rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n títí di àkókò yìí gómìnà Similayo Fubara kò tí ì sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìgbésẹ̀ náà ṣùgbọ́n tí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers ti ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún ìgbésẹ̀ náà láti máa tẹ̀síwájú. ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú African Democratic Congress ADC ti ṣe àfilọ́lẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ tí yóò ṣàtúngbéyẹ̀wò ìwé òfin rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ara akitiyan láti fẹsẹ̀ lé ìlànà àwarawa láàrin ẹgbẹ́ kan fi múlẹ̀ nílùú Àbújá. alága àpapọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ náà Senator David Mark ló ń ṣàfilọ́lẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ náà ṣe àpèjúwe ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún bí ọ̀pákùtẹ̀lẹ̀ síde ìdàgbàsókè ìlànà òfin ìṣọ̀kan gígùnlé ìlànà àwarawa àti ìṣèjọba. alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ADC ọ̀hún wá rọ àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ náà láti ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ nípa fífi inú hàn ara ẹni kàn ṣe àgbérò ìròrí ẹgbẹ́ kí wọ́n sì fojúsùn ìfẹ́ ọkàn gbogbo ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ nípasẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tí wọ́n gbé lé wọn lọ́wọ́. nínú ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́gbọ́mọgbà rẹ̀ alága ìgbìmọ̀ náà Etikwe Oadúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn aládarí ẹgbẹ́ fún iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tí wọ́n gbé lé wọn lọ́wọ́ náà kò wá ṣàìfọwọ́ ìfarajìn àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ sọ̀yà sídìí àṣeyọrí iṣẹ́ náà. lákòótán ìpè ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn òbí mùsùlùmí láti la ipa rẹ̀ kalẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ wọn lásìkò tí wọ́n bá sì wà lórí èèpẹ̀. mọ̀kádà àgbàgbà tìlú Ìlọrin Sheikh Suleiman Abubakar Damboronu ló sọ̀rọ̀ àmọ̀ràn yìí níbi ètò fìdáù olóògbé Alhaji Musa Akande Abdulkareem Gẹ̀sìndé. Fatima Mohammed tó wà ń bẹ̀ fún iléeṣẹ́ Kwara TV jábọ̀ wípé ètò náà rí ìpéjú pèsè àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí ọ̀rẹ́ àtàwọn ojúlùmọ̀ olóògbé náà nínú wàásù rẹ̀ níbi ètò fìdáwò fún Alhaji Musa Abdulkareem Gẹ̀sìndé tó dolóògbé. mọ̀kádà àmàgbà ìlú Ìlọrin Sheikh Suleiman Abubakar Damboronu rọ àwọn mùsùlùmí láti yàgò nídìí ìlépa ohun ayé dípò bẹ́ẹ̀ kí wọ́n fi ìwà ọmọlúwàbí kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn. ó gba àwọn ọmọ olóògbé lámọ̀ràn láti máa ṣèrántí bàbá wọn olóògbé nínú àdúrà àti ìtọrẹ àánú. nígbà tó ń ṣáájú ètò fìdáwò fún olóògbé Imam mọ́ṣáláṣí àjíà ìyẹn Ustaz Muhammad Sọ́lé tó ṣàpèjúwe Alhaji Musa Gẹ̀sìndé gẹ́gẹ́ bí olólùfẹ́ gbogbo ẹni tó ń sin ìlú rẹ̀ tọkàn tara nígbà ayé rẹ̀. ó gbàdúrà kí Allah ṣàforíjìn kó sì tẹ́ ẹ̀mí olóògbé náà sí afẹ́fẹ́ rere. àwọn ọmọ àtàwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí olóògbé náà tó bá ìkọ̀ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ Kwara TV sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà ló ń ṣàpèjúwe bàbá wọn bí ẹni tí ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn tí àwọn ó sì mọ rírì rẹ̀ títí ayé ráyé. ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn ti àṣálẹ́ ní kò ní jù báyìí lọ hórókè báyìí náà Fatima Abomire.
And that's how we wrap up our news for tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of it. From the Languages Desk, Pasano.
Precisely, Ahmed Kwasan Tankwafu, Suleiman.
Ẹ ṣe tẹ̀lé wa láti àtàrọ̀ òun ayọ̀ lásùn, kò sí bí ó dàárọ̀.
Funke.
Thank you for being part of the news. Join us tomorrow for another fresh episode of the news.
And I'm Fatima Rashid. To have a very lovely night. Thank you for watching.